Pavanam Satya Dharmaya Drishti. Very important verse. Hiranmayena Patra, 15th verse, Ishopanishad. Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasya Pitam Mukham Tattvam Pushana Pavanam Satya Dharmaya Drishti. I want to see you, O Lord. I want to see your lotus face. So please remove your dazzling covering. So the devotee is interested in seeing the Lord's face. That means he's not interested in seeing the opulence of Krishna. See, when you say dazzling effulgence, that also there is a subtle meaning. Seeing the effulgence or seeing the supremacy of Krishna, Aishwarya of Krishna. But the devotee wants to see the lotus face. That means he wants to see the sweetness of Krishna. So devotee is not interested in seeing the Aishwarya of Krishna, but in fact the devotee is interested in seeing the sweet dealings of Krishna with his devotees. So, Jai Shri, can you read? Jai Janaki Mataji. Can you read? Aditya, you only
Hare
are
Krishna.
joined. Read.
Hare Krishna. हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापिहितं मुखं तत्त्वं पुषन्न अपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. Translation: O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. Purport: in the Bhagavad Gita 14.27, the Lord explains his personal rays, Brahma Jyotir, the dazzling effulgence of his personal form in this way. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya tasya amritasya
Amritasya Veyasya Cha Veyasya Cha Vyayasya
व्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखक्षैकान्तिकस्य च
Sukhasya Ikantikasya Cha Sukhasya Ikantikasya Cha
सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च
Brahmano Hi Pratishthaham Amritasya Veyasya Cha Shashvatasya Cha Dharmasya Sukhasya Ikantikasya Cha. So Brahmano Hi Pratishthaham. Aham means I. Krishna says, I am the basis of the Brahman. Amritasya Veyasya Cha. It is eternal, it is imperishable, it is immortal, Shashvatasya. So this Brahman is imperishable. And also here, I am the basis, I am immortal, I am imperishable, I am eternal. I am and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So Krishna is actually glorifying himself. Read.
Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan are three aspects of the same absolute truth. Brahman is the aspect most easily perceived by the beginner. Paramatma, the super soul, is realized by those who have further progressed, and Bhagwan realization is the ultimate realization of the absolute truth. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.7, where Lord Krishna says that he is the ultimate concept of the absolute truth, Matta Parataram Nanyan. Therefore, Krishna is the source of the Brahma Jyotir as well as the all-pervading Paramatma. Later in Bhagavad Gita 10.42, Krishna explains, Athava bahunaitena kimnatena tavarjuna Vishtabhyaham idam krishnam ekam shena stito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Thus, by his one plenary expansion, the all pervading Paramatma, the Lord maintains the complete material cosmic creation. He also maintains all manifestations in the spiritual world. Therefore, in this Shruti mantra of Sri Ishopanishad, the Lord is addressed as Pushan, the ultimate maintainer. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is always filled with transcendental bliss, Anandamaya Abhyasa. When he was present at Vrindavan in India 5,000 years ago, he always remained in transcendental bliss, even from the beginning of his childhood pastimes. The killing of various demons such as Agha, Baka, Putana, and Pralamba were but pleasure excursions for him. In his village of Vrindavan, he enjoyed himself with his mother, brother, and friends, and when he played the role of a naughty butter thief, all his associates enjoyed celestial bliss by his stealing. The Lord's fame as a butter thief is not reproachable, for by stealing butter, the Lord gave pleasure to his pure devotees. Everything the Lord did in Vrindavan was for the pleasure of his associates there. The Lord created these pastimes to attract the dry speculators and the acrobats of the so-called Hatha Yoga system who wish to find the absolute truth. Of the childhood play between the Lord and his playmates, the cowherd boys, Sukdev Goswami says in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.12.11, Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradevatena मायाश्रितानां नरदारकेन साकं विजहरूह punya. The personality of Godhead, who is perceived as the impersonal, blissful Brahman by the Gnanis, who is worshipped as the Supreme Lord by the devotees in the mode of servitorship, and who is considered an ordinary human being by mundane people, played with the cowherd boys who had attained that position after accumulating many pious activities. Thus, the Lord is always engaged in transcendental loving activities with his spiritual associates in the various relationships of Shanta, neutrality, Dasya, servitorship, Sakhya, friendship, Vatsalya, parental affection, and Madhurya, conjugal love. Since it is said that Lord Krishna never leaves Vrindavan Dham, one may ask how he manages the affairs of the creation. This is answered in the Bhagavad Gita 13.14 to 18. The Lord pervades the entire material creation by his plenary part known as the Paramatma or Super Soul. Although the Lord personally has nothing to do with material creation, maintenance, and destruction, he causes all these things to be done by his plenary expansion, the Paramatma. Every living entity is known as Atma, soul, and the principal Atma who controls them all is Paramatma, the Super Soul. This system of God relation is a great science. The materialistic Sankhya yogis can only analyze and meditate on the 24 factors of the material creation, for they have very little information of the Purusha, the Lord. And the impersonal transcendentalists are simply bewildered by the glaring effulgence of the Brahma Jyoti. If one wants to see the absolute truth in full, one has to penetrate beyond the 24 material elements and the glaring effulgence as well. Sri Ishopanishad points towards this direction, praying for the removal of the Hiranmaya Patra, the dazzling covering of the Lord. Unless this covering is removed, so one can perceive the real face of the personality of Godhead, factual realization of the absolute truth can never be achieved.
Okay.
The, par- sorry.
Okay.
The
So
Paramatma
Ishopanishad
feature.
is from here Gita will read. But before that, what all Prabhupada spoke about? Itam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena mayashitanam naradarakena sakam vra- vajahru vijahru krita punya punjaha. This is from 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. When Lord is enjoying with his friends. But for the Gyanis, the Lord is seen as impersonal Brahman. But devotees, they play with him. And they consider him like a mundane person because he plays with the cowherd boys. And such a wonderful position these devotees of Vrindavan have got. They can play with Krishna. They can have loving transcendental activities with Krishna. But Gyanis, they cannot experience this Anandamaya Bhyasa. This Ananda experience is only, the experience of Anand is only when a person is in a relationship with Krishna. If he considers Krishna as impersonal, where is the question of relationship with the person? Then what is focused for? यस्य हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि तमुखं तत्त्वं पुष्पभावं सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. Satyadharmaya drishti. So what is a Satyadharmaya? Let me be in my real position. And what is a real position? Let me always serve you. So I want to serve you. I want to serve a person. If you show your effulgence, I am not able to understand your personality. So my personal relationship with you is not understood. So that is why I want to see you, your face. That means face means I want to see you. Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye. So I want to see my relationship with you. So in this way, the transcendental loving relationship is asked by the devotee. Jnanis are not interested in serving. That is why Jnanis, they are satisfied with the impersonal aspect of Lord. Okay. And then the verse goes that Krishna is the basis of the impersonal Brahman. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya vyasya cha shashvadasya dharmasya sukasya kantikasya cha. So Krishna is the basis of impersonal Brahman. Krishna is always eternal. Krishna is the truth, is the supreme truth. The Gita from here you read the Paramatma feature.
Hare Krishna. The Paramatma feature of the personality of Godhead is one of three plenary expansions or Vishnu Tattvas, collectively known as the Purusha Avataras. One of these Vishnu Tattvas who is within the universe is known as Shirodakashayi Vishnu. He is the Vishnu among the three principal deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And he is the all-pervading Paramatma in each and every individual living entity. The second Vishnu Tattva within the universe is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, the collective supersoul of all living entities. Beyond these two is Karanodakshayi Vishnu, who lies in the casual ocean. He is the creator of all universes. The yoga system teaches the serious student to meet the Vishnu Tattvas after going beyond the 24 material elements of the cosmic creation. The culture of empiric philosophy helps one realize the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, which is the glaring effulgence of the transcendental body of Lord Sri Krishna. That the Brahma Jyoti is Krishna effulgence is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 14.27 as well as the Brahma Samhita 5.40. Yasya prabhavado jagadanda kodishashesha vasudadi vibhuti bhinnam tadbrahma nishkalam anandam ashesha bhudam govindamadi purusham tammaham bhajami. In the millions and millions of universes, there are innumerable planets, and each and every one of them is different from the others by its cosmic constitution. All of these planets are situated in a corner of the Brahma Jyoti. This Brahma Jyoti is but the personal rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, whom I worship. This mantra from the Brahma Samhita is spoken from the platform of factual realization of the absolute truth, and the Shruti mantra of Sri Ishopanishad under discussion confirms this mantra as a process of realization. The Ishopanishad mantra is a simple prayer to the Lord to remove the Brahma Jyoti so that one can see his real face. This Brahma Jyoti effulgence is described in detail in several mantras of the Mundagopanishad 2.2.10 to 12. Hiranmaye para.
Wait. Yasya prabha prabhato jagadanda koti shvashesha vasudadi vibhuti vinnam tat brahma nishkalamanantam ashesha bhutam govindam adi purusham damam bhajami. This prabha means effulgence. Yasya prabha, it is your prabha, it is your effulgence. Prabhavato, which illuminates. Jagadanda koti, Jagada is like anda, innumerable. Jagadanda or Brahmanda, Koti, Kotishva, Ashesha, they all emanate from the force of Lord. And then Vasudhadi Vibhuti Bhindam. So in this way, there are multifarious universes that emanate. And Tad Brahma Nishkalamanantam Shesha Bhutam. Tad Brahma Nishkalam. Nishkalam. They are all situated in the corner of Brahma Jyoti. They are Ananta. They are Ashesha. Ashesha Bhutam. So multifarious Ashesha Bhutam. So in this way, O Lord, you are the one who is illuminating everyone. This Brahma Jyoti is nothing but the personal rays of the Lord. O Govinda, I worship you. So Mundaka Upanishad also speaks about the Brahma Jyoti. Hiranmayi, Pare Koshe, Virajam, Brahma Nishkalam, Tat Shubram, Jyotisam, Jyotis, Yat Tad Yad Atma Vido Vido. So Hiranmaye Pare Koshe. So what is this Hiranmaye Pare Koshe? So Hiranmaye means, again, this golden effulgence, Virajam Brahma Nishkalam. So Lord's effulgence is unlimited. And that Tat Shubram Jyotisam Jyotish. It is free from all contamination. And in this way, Tad Yad Atma Vido Vido Vido. So in this way, it has been said, Atma Vido Vido. It is the light of all lights. Atma Vido. It is the energy which is there in everyone. Viduhu means one who knows the truth. So they know this light, Brahma Nishkalam, which emanates from the body of Lord. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. So there is no need of Surya, Chandra, Nema Vidyuta Bhanti Kuto Ayam Agni. Na tad bhasyate Suryo na Shashanko na Pavaka. Yad Gatvana Nivartante Tadhama Paramamam. We studied in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, where Krishna says, how is my abode? It doesn't need any extra light. Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam. So it is completely illuminated. There is a reflection of that supreme illumination. Tasya Bhasha Sarvam Idam Vibhati. So this has to be understood. Brahme Vedam Amritam Purastad Brahma Paschad Brahma Dakshinatas Chotarena Adashtodhvam Na Prasrutam Brahmaivedam Vishwam Idam Varishtham. So Brahman is in front and in back, in north, south, east, and west, and also overhead and below in all 10 directions. In other words, Brahman effulgence spreads throughout material and spiritual plane. So that is what is given. Paschat Brahma Dakshinatas Sotarena Adaschodhvam. It is up also, it is down also, it is to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south. So in this way, it is spread everywhere. Okay, read again the verse.
In the spiritual realm, beyond the material covering is the unlimited Brahman effulgence, which is free from material contamination. That effulgent white light is understood by transcendentalists to be the light of all lights. In that realm, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, fire, or electricity for illumination. Indeed, whatever illumination appears in the material world is only a reflection of that supreme illumination. That Brahman is in front and in back, in the north, south, east, and west, and also overhead and below. In other words, that supreme Brahman effulgence spreads throughout both the material and spiritual skies. Keys. Perfect knowledge means knowing Krishna as the root of this Brahman effulgence. This knowledge can be gained from such scriptures as Srimad Bhagavatam, which perfectly elaborates the science of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the author Srila Vyasadeva has established that one will describe the supreme truth as Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavatam, according to one's realization of him. Srila Vyasadeva never states that the supreme truth is a jiva, an ordinary living entity. The living entity should never be considered the all-powerful supreme truth. If he were the supreme, he would not need to pray to the Lord to remove his dazzling cover so that the living entity could see his real face. The conclusion is that one who has no knowledge of the potencies of the supreme truth will realize the impersonal Brahman. Similarly, when one realizes the material potencies of the Lord but has little or no information of the spiritual potencies, he attains Paramatma realization. Thus, both Brahman and Paramatma realization of the absolute truth are partial realizations. However, when one realizes the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, in full potency, after the removal of the Hiranmaya Patra, one realizes Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Lord Sri Krishna, who is known as Vasudeva, is everything, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. He is Bhagavan, the root, and Brahman and Paramatma are his branches. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.46-47, there is a comparative analysis of the three types of transcendentalists: the worshippers of the impersonal Brahman, uh, jnanis, the worshippers of the Paramatma feature, yogis, and the devotees of Lord Sri Krishna, bhaktas. It is stated there that the jnanis, those who have cultivated Vedic knowledge, are better than ordinary fruity workers, that the yogis are still greater than the jnanis, and that among all yogis, those who constantly serve the Lord with all their energies are the topmost. In summary, a philosopher is better than a laboring man. A mystic is superior to a philosopher, and of all the mystic yogis, he who follows Bhakti Yoga, constantly engaging in the service of the Lord, is the highest. Sri Ishopanishad directs us towards this perfection. Hare Krishna.
So 6th chapter, 46 and 47 verse also speaks about these three types of transcendentalists: Jnanis, Yogis, and us. Jnanis and Yogis, they cultivate Vedic knowledge, but still they are better. They are better than the fruity workers. Yogis are still better than the Jnanis. We have studied this in Upadeshamrit. Upadeshamrit, we have studied step by step who is better. But then, better than everyone is the Bhakta. The Bhakta has a relationship with Krishna. That is how the devotee wants to realize the Lord in full potency. This Hiranyamaya Patra. So that is how he can understand Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva is everything. He is a source of Brahman. He is a Paramatma residing everyone's heart. He is Bhagavan. He is the root. He is the Brahman. He is the Paramatma. He is Bhagavan. He is a person. And there is a personal relationship between every jiva and Krishna. So here ends the 15th verse. So we'll do step by step. There is no hurry. So all the verses, Gita, can you chant all the verses today? Few verses Gita, few verses Aditya. In 15 verses, 5 you chant, 5 Aruna, 5 Aditya. Who wants to start? Aruna wants to start? Start.
Om Purnamada Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ईशावास्यम् इदं सर्वं यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जिता मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम्। कुर्वेनेव कर्माणि जिजीविषेश्च समः एव त्ययि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे। असूर्यानाम ते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृताः तांस्ते प्रत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये के चात्मनः जनाः। अनेजदेकं मनसो जभियो नैन देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतो नयन् अयेति तिषात् तस्मिन् अपो मात्ररिश्वा ददाति।
Okay. Gita, you can Tadhavato. Tadhavato. Okay. Read.
यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मनि एवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मनं ततो न विजुगुप्सते। यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मवैभूत विजन्नता तत्र को मोहः कः शोकः एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः स पर्यगच्छुक्रमकायमव्रणा मस्नाविर्शुद्धमपाविद्धम् कविर्मनिषि परिपूसोऽयम्भूर् याथादत्ययोधान् यदाश्च दिव्यसमाभ्य अन्तं तमः प्रविश्यन्ति ये विद्यम् उपासते तदो भूय इव ते तमो।
Ya avidya also should be heard. Ya avidya.
अन्तं तमः प्रविश्यन्ति य विद्याम् उपासते तदो भूय इव ते तमो। या विद्यां रतः
Ya uvidyayamrtah.
य विद्ययां रतः अन्यत् एवाहुर्विद्याय न्यत् आहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रूमदीरणम् धीराणाम् येन विचक्षिरे
Hare Krishna. Vidyam च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः अविद्यया मृत्युं त्यक्त्वा विद्यायामृतम् अश्नुते।
Vidyayamritamashnuते.
विद्यायामृतम् अश्नुते अन्धं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये असम्भूतिम् उपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो य उ सम्भूतयामृतः अन्यात् एवाहुः सम्भवात् अन्यात् आहुरसम्भवात् इति शुश्रुम धीराणां येन तद्विचिचक्षिरे सम्भूतिं च विनाशं च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः विनाशेन मृत्युं त्यक्त्वा सम्भूत्यामृतम् अश्नुते। हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापिहितं मुखं तत्त्वं पुष्यन् अपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये। हरे कृष्ण।
It is Badapu.
Bhushan.
Drishyate.
Try to memorize like this 555. Try to memorize. Once you are able to see and tell, then it is easy. It's not difficult. Okay. Hare Krishna. My Chagar Prabhu Krishna. Sindhu Dev Jagatatanam Kamni Dev Krishna.